Momentum is building for the US-backed peace deal in Ukraine after days of negotiations aimed at ending Russia's war, with Donald Trump saying they are very close to a deal. Reporter Cyan Valence joins us now from London. Good morning to you. Bring us up to speed on the latest.
Good morning, Catherine. Well, it keeps rapidly changing because a coalition of the willing meeting, that's 36 of Ukraine's allies, just wrapped up. And there have also been discussions between the US and Ukraine. We understand that Ukraine has reached a point where they are accepting a modified US-backed deal. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine, does still want to go over some of the more delicate points of that with US President Donald Trump. He's hoping to visit the US with some European allies, hopefully this week. It's unknown whether or not that'll happen. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so it's understood that Donald Trump was planning to head to Florida, but that is something that the Ukrainians are pushing for. And the US officials are also negotiating with a Russian delegation in Abu Dhabi. There's no hints as to what they have been speaking about, but Russia's Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has indicated that Russia is unlikely to accept a deal if it differs too much from what Putin put to Trump in Alaska at their summit a couple of months ago. So there are some hopeful signs here, Catherine, but it is still unclear whether or not the US, Ukraine and Russia can agree to this, as well as Ukraine's European allies.
You mentioned the coalition of the willing. They also met today. What happened there?
Well, for the first time, the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio joined the video call. French presidential officials say it's the first time that a US official of that level has joined in with the coalition of the willing talks, and that's something that made the people who were involved quite hopeful. Now, this call was hosted by the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the French President Emmanuel Macron. Here's how the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer opened the meeting today.
And I urge colleagues on the call this afternoon to firm up their national commitments, because we need to ensure we've got the most robust capability.
And when it comes to those commitments, one of the important parts is the security guarantees that many of the coalition of the willing participants have said that they will put up if there is a peace deal in Ukraine. And after that meeting today, the UK, France and Turkey have said they'll be willing to send peacekeeping troops to Ukraine immediately if there is a ceasefire. Of course, initially, Donald Trump did give Ukraine a deadline of Thursday to say yes or no to this plan. That's a lot more fluid now. So there is still this sense of urgency, but the timeline here is still very unclear.